Hi everyone, Merry Christmas now and Happy Wednesday. We are going to finish off our presents first under the tree. Think about this decoration. We've got background to do and some glitter, obviously. Got to do glitter. So we'll come into the presents and I'm going to do a pink, I think. We have quite a selection of pinks. I want to do 329. I've got to try and find it. Is that 329? No. Oh, that's more of a fleshy pink. Is this it? Yeah. So 329. I'm just going to work across. We'll worry about the teddy bear later. Now with a box, I usually do it so that the top is lighter. One side is a bit darker, that's going to be my front, and then one side is in between the two. And then what I do is I'll pop down my initial layers and then think about which need to be darker. This side definitely needs to be a bit darker, so I'm just going to go back over it all once I finish this little section to get it looking a bit darker. Now the tops wouldn't necessarily be lighter because we're under the tree, but normally light hits things on the top if you've got like a light on or anything, which you would think they would in here. So that's why I sort of do it that way. And we've also got that candle light coming down, confusing us as well. But it's just a quick, easy colour really, this bit, because it's all the same. It sort of helps us really. Now I'm going to darken this bit up a little bit. Just want to be able to see the difference between that top and that side. There we go. So I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. I mean, you may be catching up with me later. If you are, I hope you had a good day. I am looking forward to my Christmas day. Obviously, I've recorded this in advance, so I'm hoping it all goes well. Yeah, I hope you've all got some new colouring supplies or some lovely things, even if you've had to treat yourself. And hopefully you're having fun. And food is important at Christmas, I always think. Just having lots of treats I always like. Now I feel that this needs a bit more. This sort of pattern needs a bit of attention. I'm going to sharpen my pencil in a second. There we go. Yeah, as a child, Christmas food treats, we would always get nuts in. We'd have a basket of nuts in the house. I'm just going to do those top triangles a bit darker as well. So I want to put like a shadow here because I'm thinking, is that the lid? But I'm also going to just fill in these triangles a bit. We would also have a basket of nuts with a nut cracker with it. And we would have lots of Californian walnuts. Californian walnuts apparently the best. And we would have a few Brazil nuts. My mum was the only person that really liked Brazil nuts, so she would have some Brazil nuts in for her. I would always want to try one. Cracking them is so hard, they always break, and then they would sort of go sort of smushy, and I just then didn't like them. But anyway, I do like them now, but I usually buy them pre-cracked. It's a lot easier. So we'd have nuts, and we would always have a big tub of peanuts as well. They're sort of roasted salted peanuts, KP nuts, that sort of thing. They were always rather nice. And my mum would make a traditional Christmas cake, which is the sort of rich fruit cake with marzipan and icing on. So it'd be one of those, but we wouldn't be allowed to eat any of that until Christmas. But it would just be sitting on the sideboard, covered in cling film, looking all pretty with its white royal icing and little skating figures, carol singers, and robins and holly, and a little Merry Christmas on the top of it, looking very festive. And she would also make a Yule log a bit closer to Christmas as well, with brown chocolate buttercream, and that would look lovely as well, with a dusting of icing sugar and a robin and things like that. So that would be the sort of, I don't know that we would have much else. Some years my mum would buy candy canes, but only she liked them. I was thinking they're vile. But I like mint chocolate, mint sweets, but the candy canes, they just had horrible bitterness to them. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't think that. I don't know if they're supposed to taste like that. Anyway, so I never liked those. So we didn't have those very often. They weren't really a thing in the UK when I was really young. And yeah, I think she would buy mince pies, and I hated them. Kids tend to. I don't know why kids hate them so much, and adults like them. You know, there are certain foods that children take time to get accustomed to. I don't know if it's the spices or the dried fruit in it or what it is really, but I didn't like those. Yeah, I think that was about all. Then nowadays there all seems to be, oh, just hitting my head on my camera. There seems to be, everyone seems to have lots of chocolate, you know, chocolate advent calendars and things like that. We had advent calendars, they weren't chocolate. They just had little pictures behind the doors like mine does. I've got one now like that. I love them. But I don't want chocolate. Not on an advent calendar. But anyway, my boys do. Yeah. They're like, what's the point if it's not chocolate? I'm like, okay. So, yeah. And then we would have turkey on Christmas Day, roast potatoes, sprouts, of course, always associated with Christmas, carrots and peas, lots of gravy, cranberry jelly, I think it all used to be, and things like that. But, and on the day I would usually get given sweets by people. So there would be plenty of sweets to eat then. Now we have our teddy bear. Hang on, let's come in a little, just find my remote control. Now teddy bear, I think we need to continue with our colour scheme, but we don't have to do teddy bear the same colour as the gifts. So I'm going to use 325 to start with. Now I sort of realised that I'm using all the colours. So I'm going to do this colour for the teddy's belly and ears, and then I'm going to find a sort of purpley colour, darker. What colour is this? No, that's no good, that's blue. I'm finding on these pencils the wood colour paint isn't very indicative of the actual colour. This is, sorry, you'll need to know, 388 of the colour that it actually produces on the page. But that tends to be the case with cheap pencils. But for a cheaper pencil, they are very good, I have to say. There we go. So just a basic layer. I could have done the bottom of the foot in the pink, I suppose, but never mind. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of a darker layer around the head. Bring it in a bit to make it look a bit more rounded. I'm going to do the same with the body. I don't know if it works so much with that because of the tummy bit. And then around the bottom of the arm to give a sort of idea of shadow. Like that. A bit on the bottom of the foot. There we go. Now Teddy does need some black. Eyes and nose, I think black. 399. There we go. Now I'm going to keep with my black and I'm going to do some shadows between my presents. I don't think I'm going to do shadows under the bows because the bows are darker than the paper anyway. So I think if I put shadows it's going to, I don't know if it's going to show up that much. So I'm just going to do shadows between our presents. Oh, we need to do a bit here as well on the Christmas tree. So hopefully putting a little bit of shadow around just gives it a little bit of a feeling of depth. We could do it much more severely, if that's the right word, but I just want a little nod rather than anything too tricky really. Right, now we have our decoration at the top to do, this sort of beaded area. I pretty much used up most of the pinks and purples, I think. This is 328. Yeah, I have. So I need to pick something that I've used already. I might pick the colour, a couple of the colours from the tree. Those are a bit light, aren't they? Maybe this one, 334. Oops. And this one, 337. So the two darker colours. And what I'm going to do, I'm starting with my 337 and I'm going to do all the round ones. Now I'm going to just block them in quite dark. Actually, I'm going to do that one too. Maybe all the small ones. Now you could try to do it so you fade it slightly towards the centre and make it look a little bit more spherical. If you're doing it in Johanna's Christmas rather than the planner, you might find it's a little bit bigger and you get a little bit more space to be able to do that. But here we are working with quite a small space, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go across here. Would it all fit in? Yeah. And do the other side. The reason I'm choosing a darker colour for this is because I've got to pop a background in, and if I do something too light, the background might, because it's gonna, I'm gonna have to put the background on top of this because there's no way I'm going to be able to go around it very easily, and so I need it to be able to stand up through that background. I'm not going to do my background too dark, but I just need to be a bit careful. So there's that one, and then as I said before, the 334 for all the rest. Need sharpening, that's my problem. Oh, got a bit of wood on it still. Still not that sharp. See how we go. Now I'm going to use some white pen and glitter and things like that, but I'm going to do a pastel background, so I'm going to attend to that first, and then work the pen, do the pen work after. I find that is better. There we go. And just working around. Now I'm thinking that a blue background is going to be, I'm going to move my pencils back a little bit because I need to get out my pastels. I'm thinking a blue background is probably going to work best, and probably a blue carpet as well. So I'm going to use my, oops, let's come right out because you're going to need to see all of it. slow. There we go. I'm going to use my Mungyo soft pastels. I'm actually going to grab some paper to put underneath. Just so I don't get it all over the place and make a big mess. There we go. Then open up the pastels. There we go. I used to have a piece of tracing paper. I dropped it somewhere. I've lost it. Right, so I want a light blue. We have a really light blue here. We have a broken one there. I think I might go for this really light one here. Not that lightest sort of almost grey blue. I might need to find a cloth to apply it. There we go. It's got blue on it anyway. It looks really dirty. It has been washed. It's just stained. Just get that hair off it there. There we go. So I'm going to try this blue here. It's quite a turquoisey blue. I'm wondering if that's going to work with the purples and that. I don't think it will. I'm going to try this blue instead. That's better. Just apply it lightly. Now when you're doing this, keep your hand on something that you're not going to put pastel on, otherwise you can get fingerprints and mess. So I'm keeping my hand on the Christmas tree, which I'm not going to be putting any pastel on. Now I have had people say, you know, I tried the pastel and I got fingerprints and it looks messy. Don't worry, because you can just erase pastel with any normal pencil eraser and then you can reapply it. So if you've got a big fingerprint, just erase it back and do it again. And I find that usually works first time. Sometimes you have to do it a couple of times just to get it looking just right. But this looks like sky. It's not sky. We'll see how it looks when we're done. In my Johanna's Christmas book, one of my copies, I think I drew a window behind here and did a sort of snowy sky behind, just to make it a bit more interesting than all this blank wall. And I think I've also did one with like wood panelling behind, again, just to break up the sort of all the, put my finger there to do this bit, just to break up all the blankness, shall we say. It's not a good word. Now I'm going to end up getting this on my mistletoe berries, aren't I? It's such intricate work. Now the candles shouldn't have blue on them, but they have now, because I didn't think. Problem is, if I do the candles in yellow, they go green, don't they? So I'll have to think about that as I'm just adding more layers of blue. I want it to look, I was going to say even, but I'm not going to get it even because it's such a big area. It's quite difficult to get it even. So I'm not sure really what I'm trying to do. I want it not to be big gaps of white like there is here. I think that bit is as dark as I want it, so I'm going to have to apply more. It'll take a little bit of time to keep adding layers on, but very much quicker than pencil. If you don't have pastel, you can of course use pencil. If you're using this set, there's a few light greens, pop a blue, 347 would probably be a good choice, but it would take a long time. This is what I love about pastel, it's so quick. I mean, I realise I'm layering it up a little bit, but it's still really quick compared to a pencil or even a pen. Pens give me blisters because I don't lift my hand off the page very much, so I'm rubbing my little finger across the page, whereas with pencils, because I tend to rest because it hurts my hand more to use a pencil, so I tend to rest my hand a little bit, then I don't get blisters. I don't really know why. Maybe I've used my hand in a slightly different position with a pen. I don't know. Now you notice I'm ignoring that skirting board. That's a artistic decision to not worry about it. And yes, my berries are blue. A little bit more and I think I'll be happy. Yeah, now carpet. I'm thinking we'll go for just a bit of a darker blue. So I'm just going to go for this one. Hope that it works with our gifts and everything. And yes, I'm going over the ribbon a bit. Now you could use a smaller applicator to get in between if you want to be finicky, and yeah, if you want it to look better, that probably makes sense. But I'm okay with it. Now, if you're using pencil to produce your carpet, if you use a round and round motion and layer up in different weights or in slightly different shades, you can give a sort of furry, thick pile carpet effect, which can be quite nice. But I'm trying to just make that a bit darker so that it doesn't look like it's the same colour as the wall. Now, I'm going to finish there with this, but what I'm going to do is take my paper, hold it so that the pastel bit is on the inside, and then I will use this to lean on as I apply my glitter pen. Now I'm going to use, to start with anyway, this number 700 Gellyroll Sakura. Let's just come in a tad closer, and I'm going to put this all over this top decoration, the whole thing, with glitter. Now this is where I tend to get blisters on my hand, on my little finger, applying lots of pen. It's not so bad like this. It's when I'm doing a background in pen, that's the worst one. It takes ages, and then I get, yeah. Now I don't know if you can see what's going on here anyway, but still. Bit of glitter. Christmas always inspires me to do glitter. Now the star. I'm just going to go over the whole thing like I did with the decoration. Just going to have a complete shine and all these ornaments. I'm not going to do the hooks, just the actual ornament itself. I was going to show you how to do tinsel, but these swags aren't really tinsely in the way they're drawn, so I didn't get around to that. I don't know if I've done it before for you. I'm not sure, probably. But basically I do it very similar way to the tree. So a light yellow, I usually do it gold, so a light yellow background, very gentle, then lines of a darker yellow, usually using like a ochre Naples type yellow, so browny yellows, then maybe a light brown, then a sort of dark brown, then a black, and then some white or some gold or both, and pen on top at the end. And sometimes it's very effective, sometimes it isn't. I think it depends if you get the balance of colour right. You know, you still want to see some pale, you want to see some really dark, you need to see white. etc. You don't want your glitter, your metallic ones to be too thick, because some metallic pens have quite thick nibs. So it's just getting that balance right. Now I don't know if you can even see this very well, the glitter. I will turn it to the camera light, whatever, after, so you can see it. And these glitter pens are, they last a good long time as well, the Sakura pens. Some cheaper pens don't last, you know, but these do. They're very, very good. And I've never had one arrive dry. I mean, I'm sure people probably have, because it just happens with pens, but I never have. And as I say, they last and last, even though I get through them, but compared to other pens, they last. Actually, I'm getting some new glitter pens for Christmas. Husband's giving me some, and they are the cutest glitter pens I've ever seen. So I will be showing you those at some point after Christmas videos. I'm going to do a little video of what I got colouring wise, just so you can see. I'm not expecting tons of things, it won't be a huge long video, but I just thought you might want to have a little look. Now you can do a little shine line, you know, with white pen on your decorations as well, and you can even apply that on top of the glitter pen, but it's probably better to do it first. But I failed in that department, but it's up to you really if you want to do that or not. Okay, there's the glitter. What I'm going to do, just thinking about, firstly I'm going to grab a white pen for my mistletoe, and I think I'm just going to go over the berries in white so they don't look blue. There we go. And I'm going to put a little bit, a little line on the edges of the candles. There we go. I'm not going to add any white to the gifts. I'm going to leave those as they are. I think I might leave that now. Let me come out a bit. Let's have a look. Yeah, you might want to do the carpet a bit darker. You might want to do the walls a bit darker. You might want to do them with pencil rather than pastel to get them looking a bit more even or solid. But yeah, now the last thing I need to do is the candles. We need to deal with the fact that the candle flames are, you know, we've got no shine around there. So I think what I'm going to do is grab a gold metallic pen. This is from my Gellyroll metallics, and just draw over those black marks that are there already. Just try and hold the page down without getting pastel everywhere, like that. So we have a bit of indication that they're giving off light, even though I didn't do it in the past. I mean, another way to do it is to make the top of the pastel area in this side of the room darker than here, but I think that works quite well. I'll tip it up to show you. You can see the shine of the tree, and hopefully, it's too small for me to tell if you can see the bit of the candle, but there we go. So I'm going to leave that one there. It's a bit of an alternative colour scheme. If you like pinks and purples, I'm sure it will appeal. It just makes a change from doing all the reds and greens, which I've just been doing on a different picture. But thank you so much for watching. Again, I hope you have a very Merry Christmas. Enjoy your day or days, this whole sort of season, and hopefully you will catch a video quite soon. But for now, thank you and happy colouring.